Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Stiletsy with another Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition Age of Pirates preview, overview, whatever you want to call it. So today we're going to be doing the Civil War map and going over all the bits and pieces of this very iconic map that just came out a few days ago. So in this one, you're either the attackers or the defenders, right? Attackers would be the Union and defenders would be the CSA, right? So for this, you can pick a variety of civs. You can be America, of course, the ones that actually participated during the Civil War on both sides. Or you can mix it up with the Spaniards, Mexico, Lakota, Haudenosaunee, French, or British. And kind of create alternate history scenarios there. And I'm going to go over the different parts of the map you need to know about, the end goal of it and everything, and so you know what you're actually doing when your friends invite you to a game on here, okay? So let's give that a go right now, and we'll go over every piece one by one, so you know exactly what to do. Also, along the way, we can look at some cool new visual stuff as well that was added to some of the natives as well, so we'll check that out as well. So let's see here. The steam era is coming to the New World and bringing new techs and ways of warfare, using advanced warships, airships, or armored trains to win. So first thing you're going to notice here, you're in a fort. And in this fort, you have a command post. Command post is a pretty critical building that can research a lot of technologies for you. You also have this nice set of fort walls protecting you. These are indeed fort towers, so they will actually be able to shoot at enemies coming in. Also, the command post can shoot at enemies too. And of course, their town center can as well. So, definitely something for you to keep in mind. So, before we go out anywhere, let's check out this. What is over here exactly? So here is your command post, and you can do a number of things. The primary thing you can do is actually train military here. So notice how I'm the British, but I can actually gain access to some United States stuff. So I can train the Marine Corps here, and then I can train some Dragoon officers, otherwise known as the Carbine Cavalry. So regulars and Dragoon Carbine Cavalry can be trained from this building pretty much, right? So here's some regulars there. And then here's some of these. Yep. Very good. So that's going to be a nice thing you're going to be able to do in the early game on this map, is be able to spam a nice fresh army of musketeers. And then once you hit Fortress Age and beyond, you'll be able to add some dragoons from here as well, which is pretty nice. And what else does we have here? So we got some battalions we can send too. So you got the American Expeditionary Company. This will basically send you about 8 Marine Corps, so about 8 of the regulars for a cost of 600 coin. So if you don't have any food on hand, this is probably going to be what you want to do. You got the American Expeditionary Force here, which sends a group of the Dragoon officers of the Carbine Cavalry, about 5 of them to be exact. Then you got the American Expeditionary Company here. This will be a mixed army of about 3 Carbine Cavs and about 6 regulars. And then we get some really powerful ones here, like the American Brigade. So this is a one-time use one. They'll give you about 5 Carbine Cavs, about 8 Marine Corps, and a couple of volley guns too, 3 volley guns. Just Gatling guns, pretty much. And then you get this as well, American Expeditionary Fleet. Gives you a steamer with about 12 of the regulars inside of it. So we'll get those right now. And here we go with this technology. So this is the Pipe of Peace. Build a native consulate and pick a partner from a nearby tribe. So basically it gives you a nice set of natives you can use to aid your army pretty much. And I'm going to show you a little bit of a cool trick over here. So actually we can use this steamer to do that. So let's build that right there. Take care of that real quickly. Dock is coming up right now, right? Yeah, well, they're coming to help too anyways, so let's just wait for that. Let's read it though. Advanced American Fleet. Transforms all your monitors into ironclads. Unlocks ironclad training and improvements. changes ironclad costs to correspond with the original monitor costs, and increases its build limit, also for United States and Mexico. So basically, the last two effects there are basically going to be relevant if you're USA or Mexico, because you can already make those ironclads. But if you're like Brits or you are French or whatever, you got monitors, at the start of the game. So if you want to basically be able to make ironclads here, since you are in the Civil War map where ironclads were a very critical part of naval warfare, you would want to research this. And with that, you'll basically be able to turn all these monitors into ironclads, where you'll actually be able to train them for a much cheaper price than you normally could, and you'll be able to have more of them too than you typically could. Yeah. So if we see right there, comes out another one. Yep, see, they turn right into ironclads. Very good. And you should be able to use these now. Very useful to you. Right? And if we go back over here, now this is what differentiates the Union from the CSA side. So if you're the Union, you will be able to pick 3 different leaders, and they'll come with their own specific text. So you got good old Honest Abe, got the Ulysses S. Grant here, and then you got the Admiral as well. So these 3 options. Let's check out Lincoln first and see what he has. So his technologies are Northern Foundries, basically ships you a factory, generates resources or artillery automatically, configure it to produce different things. So get a factory. And then you got the Emancipation Proclamation. Increases your maximum population by 20, which is very, very good, actually. Quite a good improvement, because that basically means if you have a bunch of ills here, right? Let's say they build up a bunch of houses. You're at about 200 population. Just get these built over here. Like that. Very nice. Very, very nice. That. Just keep building those pretty much. There. Okay. I think we'll be good now, right? I'll just build one more, just for the sake of doing it. Okay. So, as we see these banners come up, notice how now you will be able to have a population maximum similar to the Chinese civ, right? 220 instead of just 200. So that could be 20 more infantry, about 10 more cavalry, or some artillery of different shapes and sizes. So that's pretty good, actually. Yeah, so if you want a factory and the ability to have a larger army, going with Honest Abe is probably going to be what you want to do on the Union side. Now we're going to restart the game, and we're going to check out another leader here. We're going to check out Ulysses S. Grant. And then we're going to go with the next option as well. So let's go right into it right here. Wait for that to load. Alright, so let's do it. So let's check out what Grant gives us. So Grant, if you're around for the stream the other days, we get to see this. Basically, we got the tech field hospitals. Allows commanderies, otherwise known as this command post right here, to make surgeons. And surgeons can construct field hospitals. The field hospital healing range is effectively increased. So if we get a surgeon right here, and we build a field hospital around there, right? We can just check out what the range is. So the range is looking pretty good. It's like a pretty good range there for the heal, so it's going to be much more efficient. And then this tech over here, the land ironclad, ships a heavy steam tank to empower your land forces. Right, so here you go with the steam tank, right? Steam tank. Basically, the steam tank is an improvement on the Leonardo tank. It's got a bit different stats. I believe the Leonardo tank on a 1v1 will beat one of these, but these are going to be much better against other units that aren't tanks, right? They have 4 splash, 200 crush, so very good against infantry. And if you go into like combat over here, notice how the tank is just going to do really well against grouped infantry like this with its turret, right? And kind of a cool fact, it's sort of like a melding between a tank and a train, right? Because if you look at the back, it doesn't look like the front of a train with the smoke going up in the air. Yep, so we'll get that. And I wanted to show you this too. This is the new model for the destroyer. Looks like a full battleship right now. Full moving turrets on it. Quite good. I think it was somewhat inspired by the Dreadnought in War's Liberty. That also has swiveling turrets and everything. So that's really cool that they were able to do that. So if you want to be able to train more of these steam tanks, you're going to have to go with Dr. Lovelace here. And basically you'll start out with these regular Leonardo tanks, and then when you research steam tanks, then you'll be able to get heavy steam tanks there basically, and that will make them much more effective and allow you to have a bigger build limit of them too, so that's good, right? And of course this tech here would benefit the destroyers as well, just so you're fully aware pretty much. Yep. Okay, so we looked at Ulysses S. Grant, so we're going to restart again and look at the last Union leader there, right? And in fact, after that, we could probably just quit out of the game and come back for the CSA stuff to see how their stuff looks in comparison pretty much. Alright, so let me get the resources up again, we'll do it. Very nice. And here we go. So the Admiral. What does the Admiral give us? So you got the Fleet of Freedom. Allows you to construct destroyer class ship from your dock. In case you own an inventor settlement, the tech will increase the destroyer build limit by 1. So let's do that real quick. Basically, if you got like a explorer here and you're just trying to do stuff, we'll give them some units. We'll give them some units to go and take that site right there. Go over there right now. Yeah, get over there. Get over there right now. I'm telling you, right now. Okay, so let's just get a dock real quick over here. And while they're working on that, we're going to build a dock. Pretty much. Let's see. There you go. Very good. Alright, so now you can train a destroyer here. And if you get your inventor site, now you can have 2 of them. So that's pretty awesome, right? So now you can have a much better navy now. Pretty much, yep. I wanted to point out too, while I was over here, this is what the inventor sites look like on this Civil War map. So you get a factory. The factory can generate any resource that you want, right? And then also you get a metallurgy lab that will trickle you coin. And then as far as defense, you can actually build a fixed gun right over here and upgrade it. So that's really good for defense. And then as far as the trade is concerned, you actually configure it out of the harbor here. You don't do it out of the TP, you do it out of the harbor, right? And then at the TP itself, this is a fully working inventor side, right? So you can get all the units, all the techs, and then obviously pick more tanks. You can go with armored trains, or you can go with the Zeppelin, right? If you go a bit north here, you have a railroad, and that's where the armored trains would be doing most of their work from, right? Yeah, so here's the last tech for the Admiral on the Union side. Ships a submarine and allows you to construct it from your dock. So basically, even though you don't have the option of the submarine for this inventor site on this map, you can get access to the submarine if you go with the Admiral. Right, and I don't have to explain the submarine too much, right? You understand it from previous uploads about the different submerged modes and how it affects your combat, and then the ability to ram right into boats with this. So yeah, that's the Union side. Now we're going to take a look at the CSA side and see what their technologies look like. They're a bit different, right? So let's go over there right now into skirmish. We will be a defender now. Alright, let's check that out. And then after that, we can sort of walk around a bit and check out the map, right? Yeah, basically. There's a few things I'd like to show you out on there. They're pretty neat on this map. So far, you've seen what the inventor sites look like in your base, but there are some Western-style towns out there to capture too, basically. Let's get our stuff. Notice here how the artwork looks more CSA-like and less Union, but do be aware that these are all the same effects, right? Same cost, same unit. So, yep, these texts are also going to be the same no matter which side you're on. So you're going to get the Pipe of Peace, and then you're going to get this one too. Speaking of which, what does this console do for the natives? So you can pick either the Cherokee, the Seminoles, or the Lakota. And all this does is gives you access to the native sites unit as well as the technologies. So if you like the Lakota, having the Axe Riders, maybe send that one-time use thing of the Tokalas, you can go with that. If you need archers, go with the Seminoles. If you need a gunpowder skirmisher, you can go with the Cherokee, obviously. So got a few options there. So let's check out these. So right over here we have Jefferson Davis as the president. So let's see what he's got. Pretty much. So we got two techs right here. Southern Irregulars. Allows you to train Southern Irregular native units from your command posts. So let's see what that's all about. This is a Southern Irregular. So basically a CSA militia, right? And if we see it right here, these are a native unit, so they don't actually cost any population space. They are just a unit you can use to spam against your enemy pretty much, right? And have stats similar to the state militia unit of the United States. So another additional USA unit you can make even if you're not the USA, right? Yeah. And notice too, by the way, regardless of which side you're on, your civ will have the flag of the faction you're on. So if you're the British, you'll be changed to the Union flag, or you'll be changed to the CS flag, depending on which side you're on, right? So, very cool. And we got the Confederate Conscription Act. Transform all settlers into Southern Irregulars. Increases the Southern Irregulars build limit by 20. So now you can have up to 40 of these, right? This is a really great option to go with Jefferson Davis if you just want a big, massive army of skirmishers to help out your main army, right? That's really neat, isn't it? So now that we've checked that out, we're going to check out Robert E. Lee. Let's restart again. And this is the one we checked out the other day on my stream, but I'll go over it again just to be consistent with you all. Alright, y'all, Southern, yeehaw. Okay, let's wait for that to load and then we can get into it. Perfect. Here we go. Let's figure it out. Robert E. Lee, the general. So basically, with this, you can get the Fort wagon here. There we go. Very nice. And then this will allow you to get two fixed guns. So kind of similar to some of the other native options we've seen. I think for the Maltese Knights, is it? Or one of those. That's really cool. Alright, we'll go over the last one now. And there's something I forgot about too that I should mention to you that we'll go over while I'm doing this. Is basically there's another little tidbit to picking these too than just the technologies. Still loading. So before we pick our admiral, notice these. So if you go with Jefferson Davis, your villager farming rate will be improved by 15%. So that would include mills and plants, basically. If you go with Robert E. Lee, all land military moves 10% faster. And then if you go with the admiral, all warships are 15% cheaper. So on top of the two techs that you're getting, there's also a game-wide bonus to picking these two, so that's why you really need to be careful with what you go with, right? Yeah, so this one ships a steam-powered pirate destroyer boat, so not quite the same as the Inventor's destroyer boat, but a pirate one, right? So a bit of a different breed here, with the pirate sails on it. Arrgh! Yeah. And this right here, Ports of Defiance, allows you to construct a dry dock to maintain ironclads. Increases ironclad build limit. So let's get that going. You know what the dry dock does, right? It can perform different functions that a normal dock cannot. So if we roll over here real quickly, there we go. So you can put this mode for ships to build faster. This will allow ships to be repaired faster by 300%. And then this will maintain ships, in this case the ironclads. So basically you'll be able to spam a bunch of free boats out of that. So if you want to go naval on this map, since it's a big water map, well, not a total water map, but there's a lot of rivers and winding areas you can pop up and attack your opponents. That's probably what you want to do, right? Okay, so let's just walk around a bit. I'll tell you the tidbit of how this map works. So before we get into anything, notice up here, the goal of winning this game is actually to control all the natives on the map for at least 2 minutes. So you would basically have to start here at your inventor thing, and then you'd have to work all the way around this periphery and get all 5 of those native sites if you hope to win the game, and you have to hold on to them too for 2 minutes. So if you got a sneaky opponent who, with the monitor, sniping your TPs, you're going to have some problems there. So you got to make sure that they do not do that at all, right? So you actually can cross here through this ford in the river pretty much, so you can cross it on foot. Obviously with Navy, you're going to have a bit more mobility, right? So here we are at the top of the map here in the first sort of cowboy town that we're going to encounter. There's some crazy cowboys here. They're not too happy that we're trying to get involved there, so we might actually need a little bit of reinforcements from home, which is totally fine. So we'll just bring these ones up there, and then we should be able to clean it out, right? Yeah, you're going to want to make sure in this map that you are always bring an army with you to capture these at the start, because obviously, I think you saw it a bit before, but at the inventor site there are some flamethrowers as well as machine gunners protecting it, and then up here you would have some of the, I believe, the Jesse James style cowboys up here defending that. So we're going to want to move all these up in tandem and sort of just move up to that position and help take it out. Yeah, here we go. Right over here, right in the middle. Let's get all these. Very good. Nice. Alright, so we'll capture that right now. This is Lamar, one of the cowboy towns, right? And in this site, we got a few buildings we can utilize, right? So over here, you always get a saloon in these western towns, and the saloon can do a few things. It can train outlaws, you can make gunslingers, owl shoots, or cowboys. And it doesn't matter what civ you are. If you're the British, if you are the Mexicans, you'll always be able to make these same outlaws there pretty much. And we get some special techs here too. You got the team Tales of the West. So everybody on the team will get a XP production increase of about 100% from these saloons in the town. So you notice how they're trickling this much XP right now. If you get this, it's going to jump to that. Quite good, yeah. Next, we get another tech here, Team Railroad Logistics. Grants resources for future control of trade routes. So basically, notice here how you need to use the train station to select your resource pretty much. This is also where you can move units from one station to another one, just like on other maps where the trains basically are. And also, this would be, I believe this would be the area where you would actually call the armored trains to attack your opponents as well. So definitely keep that in mind. Get that right now, and we notice, oh yeah, now these things deliver more resources. That's pretty awesome, right? And what's not awesome is this AI coming to attack us. So I'm just going to get him out right now. Alright, he seems to be behaving himself, so I'm going to kind of just let him do what he wants there. Alright, so the other techs, we got hired guns. It reduces the outlaws' population cost pretty well. I mean, gunslingers and owl shoots go down to 2 pop, and then the cowboy goes to about 3 pop, right? And then we got Team Boomtown Industry. Increases the production rate for sawmills and whiskey distilleries by 100%. So what is a sawmill and what is a whiskey distillery? Alright, so let's figure that out. If you look over here, this is a sawmill. So a building that actually trickles us wood for this element, right? And that tech I just talked about actually increases its trickle rate, so that's definitely something you're going to want to get. Now, in terms of defending this town, you have some options, right? Obviously, you got a cowboy native site here, so you'll be able to make the cow punchers like you normally can, right? And then you'll be able to pick one of these. The most popular option nowadays would be the Pinkertons, right? Since they got a new and improved armored stagecoach option, right? So let's check that out real quick. Right over here. Actually, where is the armored stagecoach? Up here it is. Okay, so I'll actually just do something with it over here. Basically, the armored stagecoach is like a huge, giant machine gun weapon. So if you look at it right here, look at this wonderful stream of bullets that it shoots. This thing is very powerful. Quite a powerful tool. And it allows our Pinkerton agent to just pick up that treasure right there without too much trouble, right? Okay, we can also build some of these towers around the site, right? And we can also upgrade them too, twice, just like we could a normal outpost. Build that, and build that. Right, and one thing I'll tell you too, basically, if you manage to take out the enemy's TP without taking out these towers, you can actually inherit them from your enemy. Same thing with the fixed gun in the inventor's area as well. So we're going to cross the bridge right now, across the river, and we'll find our way towards a new place, right? Now we're in the town of Vidal. So this is another cowboy settlement here. Go into this one right now. And this one is a bit different, right? So you still got your saloon, you still got the train station, you still got your native site. Now there's one more aspect that makes this one a more unique one, which is the safe house. The safe house offers us some new stuff. So it allows us to get this tech team new world treasures. Native treasures and safe houses generate coin faster. So this is like a big giant bank pretty much, but now it's going to be an even bigger bank, right? And then team mercenary bounties. Enemy units grant a small sum of coin when you defeat them. So that's basically makes it even better to kill enemies pretty much, right? Same thing here, you can build more towers and everything. Alright, that's cool. So we're going to move to the last western town along this trade road, right? Which is right over here, correct? Okay. And while we're doing that, why don't we just capture that. So I'm going to run some troops in here and go over here now, yep. Sounds good. Okay. So where are we at now? We are in Vidal, so this looks like a duplicate of another city we were in, right? Yeah. Once you capture this site, we'll be able to go right in. Right there. There we go. Just build that right over there now. So, just like with the other two cowboy towns we looked at, this one also has a unique identity, because instead of a sawmill and a safe house, this one has a whiskey distillery, and the whiskey distillery will trickle you food, which is pretty good, yep. Alright, so after you do that, eventually at this point in the game, you would probably be looking to invade your opponent, right? You would hopefully have this secured, and you would be going for like a serious push on your enemy, right? Yep, just fight through all this. Okay, so obviously once you come down here, you're going to find another site just like this one for you to take pretty much. So you'll want to do that right away if possible. There we go. Let's build on that right now. Yep. Cool. Alright. I'm just scouting around right now. Yeah. See, he ended up doing a bunch of state militia because he's the USA. Yeah. So we just gotta snipe his site and then we can grab it real quick. There we go. Yep, and once you do this, then you get the team victory condition right there. So Basically, when you do this, you're going to want to make sure that you can secure these sites. Obviously, you don't want to go too preemptive with that, pretty much. Yeah. Very good. And we might want to just do this for defense over here. Very good. Very nice. And just like with any other sort of map, you can obviously take this and attack enemy sites with this too, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, very nice. Some more machine guns here and flamethrowers. Very good. And that's how you win this map. Basically, you have to hold all 5 of these native sites together in tandem. There's no other way of doing it, right? Yeah, basically. Nice, nice, nice. So there's just one more thing I want to go back to before we wrap up over here, which is basically, let's go back to attackers, right? There we go. I just want to see if the bonuses are the same or different than the CSA ones were, very briefly. And we should be good for the night, okay? Let's see what we got here. There we go. Alright, so looking at Union, it looks like the stuff is a bit different here. So it looks like for Abe Lincoln, the bonus would be native production buildings work 15% faster. So basically all the buildings are either in the inventor settlements or the cowboy ones. So the whiskey distilleries, the sawmills, the safe houses, the metallurgy labs, the factories, those are all going to work better, right? For Grant, military bonus. Artillery gets trained 15% faster. So kind of like a little mini engineering school. And then for the Admiral, increases warship attack range and line of sight. So yeah, a lot of moving parts on this map. And there's so much stuff for you to check out. I recommend everybody play this with their friends. If you're a streamer, YouTuber, definitely play this map and get it the love it deserves. So yeah, that will be my preview of this. See you on the next map that they come up with, or possibly whatever native I can cover, right? So yeah, see you then. Sign off now.